We often hear the word lazy thrown around casually. It's used to describe someone who sleeps in late, avoids chores, or cancels plans. But what if these seemingly lazy behaviors are actually symptoms of a deeper struggle? What if, instead of laziness, we're witnessing the effects of depression? Depression is a complex mental health condition that goes far beyond simply feeling sad or unmotivated. It's a heavy cloak that weighs down on every aspect of life, making even the simplest tasks feel impossible. This essay aims to shed light on the often misunderstood reality of depression. We'll explore the difference between genuine laziness and the debilitating effects of this mental health challenge. It's time to move past judgment and cultivate understanding, recognizing that what looks like laziness on the surface might actually be a cry for help from within. Depression can manifest in countless ways, and its symptoms are as varied as the individuals it affects. While sadness might be a prominent emotion, depression often presents itself through changes in behavior, energy levels, and overall outlook on life. It's about feeling utterly drained, both physically and emotionally, to the point where even getting out of bed feels like an insurmountable hurdle. It's crucial to remember that depression doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone, regardless of age, background, or social standing. It's time to break down the stigma surrounding mental health and create a space where open conversations about depression can take place without fear of judgment. The label of lazy is often misapplied to individuals battling depression. This harmful stereotype fails to acknowledge the very real and debilitating nature of this condition. Depression isn't a choice, it's a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors that can significantly impact an individual's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. When someone is depressed, their brain chemistry changes. Neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which play a crucial role in regulating mood, motivation, and pleasure, become disrupted. This imbalance can lead to a persistent feeling of sadness, hopelessness, and a loss of interest in activities that once brought joy. The energy required to perform daily tasks, engage in social interactions, or even maintain basic hygiene can feel utterly depleted. This is why attributing these behaviors to laziness is not only inaccurate but also incredibly damaging. It perpetuates a misunderstanding of depression and prevents individuals from seeking the help they desperately need. Imagine feeling like you're drowning in quicksand, and instead of throwing you a lifeline, the people around you accuse you of not trying hard enough to swim. Challenging the label of laziness requires a shift in perspective. It demands empathy, compassion, and a willingness to educate ourselves about the realities of depression. It's about recognizing that what might appear as a lack of effort is often a reflection of an internal struggle that is invisible to the outside world. It's time to move beyond simplistic judgments and engage in meaningful conversations that promote understanding and support for those living with depression. By challenging the misconception of laziness, we can create a more compassionate and informed society that empowers individuals to seek help without fear of stigma. Understanding depression as a medical condition rather than a personal failing is the first step toward healing. It's about acknowledging that the symptoms of depression, such as low energy, difficulty concentrating, and social withdrawal, are not signs of weakness, but rather indicators of an underlying health issue. Just as we wouldn't hesitate to seek medical attention for a physical ailment, it's crucial to approach mental health concerns with the same level of seriousness and care. Throughout this essay, we will delve into the various facets of depression, exploring its causes, symptoms, and potential treatments. We will examine the science behind this complex condition, shedding light on how it affects the brain and body. By understanding the biological and psychological underpinnings of depression, we can begin to dismantle the stigma and shame that often surround it. This journey of understanding will also involve debunking common myths and misconceptions about depression. We will challenge the notion that depression is a sign of weakness or a character flaw. Instead, we will emphasize that it is a medical condition that can affect anyone, regardless of their background, personality, or life experiences. Depression, a word often uttered in hushed tones, carries with it a weight of misunderstanding. It is frequently mistaken as a fleeting sadness, a temporary dip in mood that will eventually lift with time. However, to define depression as mere sadness is to overlook its profound complexity and underestimate its pervasive grip on the human experience. Depression is not a weakness, a flaw, or a choice. It is a serious medical condition that demands understanding, compassion, and proactive intervention. Imagine, if you will, a heavy, invisible cloak that envelops you, weighing down your every thought, movement, and interaction. This is the reality of depression for countless individuals. It's a persistent state of being, a relentless fog that clouds judgment, distorts perception, and saps the very essence of joy from life. It's the feeling of being trapped in a deep, dark pit, with the walls closing in and no apparent way out. Unlike temporary bouts of sadness, which are a normal part of the human emotional spectrum, depression lingers. It casts a long shadow over every aspect of life, affecting relationships, work, hobbies, and even the most basic of daily tasks. It's the inability to find pleasure in activities that once brought happiness, the constant fatigue that makes even getting out of bed a monumental effort, and the pervasive sense of hopelessness that whispers that things will never get better. The impact of depression extends far beyond the individual experiencing it. It ripples outward, touching the lives of family members, friends, and colleagues. It strains relationships, creates communication barriers, and leaves loved ones feeling helpless and unsure of how to provide support. Recognizing the signs of depression in ourselves and others is crucial for breaking down stigma and fostering an environment of empathy and understanding. It's essential to remember that depression is not a sign of weakness or a character flaw. It's a medical condition that requires professional help, just like any other health concern. By seeking treatment, individuals can begin to unravel the complexities of their depression, develop coping mechanisms, and reclaim their lives from the grip of this often misunderstood condition. Section 2. The Science of Sorrow, How Depression Affects the Brain. To truly comprehend the pervasive nature of depression, we must delve into the intricate workings of the human brain. Depression is not simply a matter of willpower or a lack of trying. It is rooted in complex neurochemical imbalances that affect mood, thought patterns, and behavior. Understanding the biological basis of depression is crucial for dispelling harmful myths and fostering empathy for those who live with this challenging condition. Within the intricate circuitry of the brain, neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that facilitate communication between nerve cells, play a pivotal role in regulating mood. Serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine are among the key neurotransmitters implicated in depression. When these chemical messengers become dysregulated, the delicate balance of mood is disrupted, leading to a cascade of emotional, cognitive, and physical changes. Serotonin, often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter, is involved in regulating mood, sleep, appetite, and pain perception. Low levels of serotonin have been linked to feelings of sadness, anxiety, and irritability, as well as disruptions in sleep and appetite. Dopamine, another crucial neurotransmitter, plays a central role in reward, motivation, and pleasure. When dopamine levels are low, individuals may experience a diminished sense of pleasure, reduced motivation, and difficulty concentrating. Norepinephrine, often associated with the body's stress response, is involved in alertness, focus, and energy levels. In depression, norepinephrine levels may be disrupted, leading to fatigue, lack of motivation, and difficulty concentrating. The interplay of these neurotransmitters is complex and multifaceted, and research continues to uncover the intricacies of their involvement in depression. Understanding the biological underpinnings of depression is essential for dispelling the harmful notion that it is a sign of weakness or a character flaw. Depression is a medical condition, just like heart disease or diabetes, and it requires professional treatment. By addressing the underlying neurochemical imbalances, individuals can begin to alleviate their symptoms and regain control over their lives. Section 3. A multifaceted condition. The varied faces of depression. Depression, much like a chameleon, can manifest in a myriad of ways, making it a particularly challenging condition to diagnose and treat. While some individuals may experience the classic symptoms of persistent sadness, hopelessness, and loss of interest in activities, others may present with less obvious signs such as irritability, anger, or physical complaints. Recognizing the diverse faces of depression is crucial for ensuring that individuals receive the appropriate support and intervention. Some individuals with depression may experience predominantly melancholic symptoms, characterized by a pervasive sense of sadness, emptiness, and despair. They may withdraw from social interactions, neglect their appearance, and struggle to find joy in activities they once enjoyed. Others may experience more atypical symptoms, such as increased irritability, agitation, or restlessness. They may become easily frustrated, lash out at loved ones, or engage in risky behaviors. Furthermore, depression can manifest differently across genders. Men, for example, may be less likely to express feelings of sadness and hopelessness and more likely to exhibit symptoms such as anger, irritability, or substance abuse. Women, on the other hand, may experience depression differently due to hormonal fluctuations associated with menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause. It's important to note that depression can also co-occur with other mental health conditions, such as anxiety disorders, bipolar disorder, and substance use disorders. This co-occurrence, known as comorbidity, can further complicate diagnosis and treatment. Individuals experiencing symptoms of depression, regardless of their presentation, should seek professional help from a qualified mental health professional. By recognizing the diverse faces of depression, we can foster a more inclusive and compassionate understanding of this complex condition. It's essential to remember that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to diagnosis and treatment, and what works for one individual may not work for another. Section 4. Debunking the myths. Depression is not a choice. In a society that often prioritizes positivity and resilience, it can be challenging to reconcile the debilitating reality of depression with the prevailing narrative of personal responsibility. The misconception that depression is a choice, a sign of weakness, or a lack of willpower persists, perpetuating stigma and preventing individuals from seeking the help they desperately need. It's time to debunk these harmful myths and foster a more compassionate understanding of this complex medical condition. Depression is not a choice any more than diabetes or heart disease are choices. It is a complex interplay of genetic predisposition, biological vulnerabilities, and environmental stressors that converge to disrupt brain chemistry and alter mood regulation. Attributing depression to a lack of willpower or a character flaw is not only inaccurate, but also incredibly damaging, as it reinforces feelings of shame and self-blame, further isolating individuals who are already struggling. Imagine telling someone with a broken leg to simply snap out of it or walk it off. It's absurd, right? Yet this is often the message conveyed, whether implicitly or explicitly, to individuals battling depression. The reality is that depression is a serious medical condition that requires professional intervention, just like any other health concern. The myth of choice often stems from a lack of understanding of the biological underpinnings of depression. As discussed earlier, depression is associated with imbalances in key neurotransmitters, such as serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, which play crucial roles in regulating mood, motivation, and pleasure. These imbalances are not a matter of willpower. They are rooted in complex biological processes that require targeted treatment. Furthermore, the notion that depression is a sign of weakness fails to acknowledge the immense strength and resilience required to navigate the challenges of this condition. Individuals living with depression often face each day with an invisible weight on their shoulders, struggling to perform even the simplest of tasks. To suggest that they are weak or lacking in willpower is not only insensitive, but also completely disregards the immense courage it takes to keep going in the face of such adversity. Depression has a cunning way of distorting our perception, trapping us in a cage of negative thoughts and self-doubt. It's like looking at the world through a distorted lens, where everything appears bleak, hopeless, and devoid of joy. Understanding how depression affects our thoughts and perceptions is crucial for breaking free from this negative spiral and reclaiming our ability to see the world in a more balanced and hopeful light. One of the hallmarks of depression is negative automatic thoughts, those intrusive, often irrational thoughts that pop into our heads uninvited, whispering messages of self-doubt, worthlessness, and hopelessness. These thoughts can be incredibly persistent and persuasive, eroding our self-esteem and fueling the cycle of depression. For example, someone with depression might experience thoughts like, "I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, nothing ever goes my way, I'm a burden to everyone around me." These negative thoughts can become so ingrained that they begin to shape our beliefs about ourselves, the world, and the future. This distorted thinking pattern, known as cognitive distortion, further reinforces the cycle of depression, making it difficult to see situations objectively and find hope for the future. For instance, someone with depression might engage in all-or-nothing thinking, seeing things in black and white terms, with no middle ground. For example, if they make a mistake, they might see themselves as a complete failure, overgeneralization, drawing sweeping conclusions based on a single event. For example, if they have a bad day at work, they might conclude that they're terrible at their job and that their career is doomed. Mental filter, focusing only on the negative aspects of a situation while ignoring the positive. For example, they might receive positive feedback on a project but dwell on the one negative comment, disqualifying the positive, dismissing positive experiences by finding reasons why they don't count. For example, they might receive a compliment but tell themselves that the person was just being nice. These cognitive distortions can trap individuals in a cycle of negativity, making it difficult to see the good in themselves, their lives, and the world around them. Breaking free from this negative thought pattern requires conscious effort, professional help, and a willingness to challenge and reframe distorted thinking. One of the most insidious aspects of depression is its ability to drain the body of its vital energy, leaving individuals feeling physically and emotionally exhausted. This profound fatigue can make even the simplest of tasks feel like insurmountable obstacles. Imagine waking up each morning with a leaden weight pressing down on you, making it a struggle to get out of bed, brush your teeth, or even gather the energy to get dressed. This is the reality for many people living with depression, and it's often misconstrued as laziness by those who haven't experienced this debilitating condition. This overwhelming exhaustion is not a matter of willpower or a lack of trying. It is a direct result of the physiological changes that occur in the brain during a depressive episode. As discussed earlier, depression disrupts the delicate balance of neurotransmitters, including serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, which play crucial roles in regulating energy levels, motivation, and mood. This neurochemical imbalance can lead to a persistent state of fatigue that permeates every aspect of an individual's life. They may find themselves struggling to concentrate at work, neglecting household chores, and withdrawing from social activities that once brought them joy. The energy required to maintain a facade of normalcy can be utterly depleted, leaving them feeling like they're running on empty. It's essential to understand that this exhaustion is not a sign of weakness or a character flaw. It's a symptom of a medical condition that requires professional attention. Just as we wouldn't expect someone with the flu to power through their day as if nothing were wrong, it's crucial to extend the same compassion and understanding to individuals battling depression. If you find yourself or someone you care about struggling with overwhelming fatigue, it's essential to reach out for professional help. A qualified mental health professional can assess the situation, provide support, and recommend appropriate treatment options, such as therapy, medication, or a combination of both. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a courageous step towards reclaiming your health and well-being. Depression often manifests as a retreat inward, a withdrawal from the social connections that once brought joy and a sense of belonging. This isolation is not a sign of selfishness or a lack of caring. It's a symptom of the overwhelming emotional pain and exhaustion that often accompany this complex condition. Imagine feeling like you're carrying a heavy weight on your shoulders, a weight that makes it difficult to engage in even the most basic of social interactions. This withdrawal can take many forms. Individuals struggling with depression may start declining invitations to social gatherings, stop responding to messages and calls, and gradually distance themselves from loved ones. This isolation is often driven by a combination of factors including fear of judgment. Depression can shatter self-esteem, leading individuals to believe that they are unworthy of love and connection. They may fear being judged or rejected by others, so they withdraw to protect themselves from further emotional pain. Lack of energy and motivation. As discussed earlier, depression can sap the body of its vital energy, making even the simplest of tasks feel insurmountable. This exhaustion can extend to social interactions, making it difficult to muster the energy to engage with others. Loss of interest in activities once enjoyed. Depression can cast a dark cloud over even the most pleasurable activities, making it difficult to find joy in things that once brought happiness. This loss of interest can extend to social connections, leading individuals to withdraw from activities they once looked forward to. It's important to remember that social withdrawal is not a personal failing. It's a symptom of a medical condition that requires professional attention. If you notice a loved one withdrawing from social connections, reach out with compassion and understanding. Let them know that you care and are there for them, even if they don't feel like reaching out themselves. Encourage them to seek professional help from a qualified mental health professional who can assess their situation, provide support, and recommend appropriate treatment options. Your support and encouragement can make a world of difference in their journey towards healing and recovery. Procrastination, often perceived as a simple matter of laziness or poor time management, can actually be a coping mechanism for individuals struggling with depression. The weight of their emotional burden can make even mundane tasks feel overwhelming, leading them to delay and avoid responsibilities as a way of managing their emotional distress. It's essential to recognize that this procrastination is not a sign of apathy or a lack of caring. It's a reflection of their internal struggle to cope with the debilitating effects of depression. For someone battling depression, the act of procrastination can provide a temporary illusion of control in a world that feels chaotic and overwhelming. By putting off tasks, they create a sense of distance between themselves and the potential for failure or disappointment. However, this temporary reprieve often comes at a cost, leading to increased anxiety, guilt, and a further erosion of self-esteem. Several factors contribute to procrastination in the context of depression. Overwhelming fatigue. As discussed earlier, depression can drain individuals of their energy, making even simple tasks feel insurmountable. This exhaustion can lead to procrastination as they struggle to find the motivation to tackle their responsibilities. Negative self-talk. Depression often fuels negative self-talk, whispering messages of doubt, self-criticism, and inadequacy. These negative thoughts can paralyze individuals, making it difficult to believe in their ability to complete tasks successfully. Fear of failure. Depression can shatter self-esteem, making individuals hypersensitive to the possibility of failure. This fear can lead them to avoid tasks altogether as a way of protecting themselves from potential disappointment. If you find yourself or someone you care about struggling with procrastination, it's essential to approach the situation with compassion and understanding. Recognize that procrastination is often a symptom of a deeper struggle and offer support without judgment. Encourage open communication and explore strategies for breaking down tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Remember, overcoming procrastination in the context of depression is not about willpower or self-discipline. It's about addressing the underlying emotional distress and developing healthier coping mechanisms. Seeking professional help from a qualified therapist can provide valuable support and guidance in this journey. Depression often casts a fog over cognitive function, impairing memory, concentration, and the ability to think clearly. This cognitive impairment is not a sign of laziness or a lack of intelligence. It's a direct result of the neurochemical imbalances that occur in the brain during a depressive episode. Imagine trying to focus on a task while your mind is racing with 1,000 anxious thoughts, or struggling to remember simple details that you used to recall with ease. This cognitive fog can manifest in various ways. Difficulty concentrating. Individuals with depression may find it challenging to focus on tasks, conversations, or even their own thoughts. Their minds may wander, they may easily get distracted, and they may struggle to retain information. Memory problems. Depression can impair both short-term and long-term memory. Individuals may forget appointments, misplace items, or struggle to recall conversations or events. Slowed thinking. Depression can slow down cognitive processing speed, making it difficult to think clearly, make decisions, or process information efficiently. This slowed thinking can lead to feelings of being overwhelmed, confused, and mentally exhausted. This cognitive impairment can have a significant impact on an individual's daily life, affecting their work, relationships, and overall well-being. They may struggle to keep up with work demands, make mistakes, or find it challenging to engage in meaningful conversations. This cognitive fog can also contribute to feelings of frustration, inadequacy, and low self-esteem. It's essential to remember that cognitive impairment is a common symptom of depression, not a reflection of intelligence or character. If you notice a decline in your cognitive function or that of a loved one, it's crucial to seek professional help from a qualified mental health professional. They can assess the situation, rule out other potential causes, and recommend appropriate treatment options, such as therapy, medication, or a combination of both. Early intervention is key to managing depression and mitigating its impact on cognitive function. I'm fine. Two simple words often uttered with a forced smile and a dismissive wave of the hand. For individuals struggling with depression, these words can serve as a shield, a way to deflect concern, and maintain a facade of normalcy in a world that feels anything but normal. It's a defense mechanism, a way to protect themselves from judgment, unwanted advice, or the emotional burden of explaining the depths of their pain. Behind this mask of "I'm fine" often lies a whirlwind of emotions, fear of judgment. Depression can be incredibly isolating. Individuals may fear being judged, misunderstood, or perceived as weak or flawed if they reveal the true extent of their struggles. Shame and guilt. Depression can trigger intense feelings of shame and guilt. Individuals may blame themselves for their condition, feel like a burden to others, or believe they should be able to snap out of it. Lack of energy and motivation. As discussed earlier, depression can sap the body of its vital energy. This exhaustion can make it difficult to engage in conversations, explain their feelings, or even muster the energy to seek help. While the intention behind "I'm fine" might be to protect themselves, this facade of normalcy can actually be incredibly damaging. It prevents individuals from receiving the support they desperately need, perpetuates feelings of isolation, and allows depression to tighten its grip. If you hear someone say "I'm fine," pay attention to their non-verbal cues. Do their eyes look sad or empty? Do they seem withdrawn or distant? Trust your instincts, and express your concern with compassion and empathy. Let them know that you're there for them, without judgment, and that it's okay to not be okay. Encourage them to open up at their own pace and let them know that seeking professional help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Your support and understanding can make a world of difference in their journey towards healing and recovery. Untangling the roots. Exploring the causes of depression. Depression, like a tangled knot, often has multiple threads contributing to its complexity. It's rarely caused by a single factor, but rather a confluence of genetic predisposition, biological vulnerabilities, and environmental stressors that interact in intricate ways. Understanding the potential causes of depression is crucial for dispelling harmful myths, promoting early intervention, and fostering empathy for those navigating this challenging condition. One of the key contributors to depression is genetics. Research suggests that individuals with a family history of depression may be more susceptible to developing the condition themselves. This doesn't mean that everyone with a genetic predisposition will develop depression, but it does increase their vulnerability, especially when combined with other risk factors. Brain chemistry also plays a crucial role in depression. As discussed earlier, imbalances in neurotransmitters such as serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine are implicated in the development and maintenance of depressive symptoms. These neurochemical imbalances can be influenced by a variety of factors, including genetics, stress, trauma, and medical conditions. Furthermore, life experiences play a significant role in shaping our vulnerability to depression. Traumatic events such as childhood abuse, neglect, or the loss of a loved one can leave lasting emotional scars that increase the risk of developing mental health conditions like depression. Chronic stress, whether from work, relationships, or financial worries, can also take a toll on our mental well-being, making us more susceptible to depression. It's important to note that there is no single cause of depression, and what triggers the condition in one person may not have the same effect on another. Understanding the complex interplay of genetic, biological, and environmental factors is crucial for promoting early intervention, developing effective treatment strategies, and fostering a more compassionate and informed understanding of this often misunderstood condition. The weight of the past. Childhood experiences and trauma. Childhood, a time of wonder, exploration, and growth, can also be a period of profound vulnerability. Adverse childhood experiences such as abuse, neglect, or witnessing domestic violence can cast a long shadow, shaping our emotional development and influencing our risk of developing mental health conditions like depression later in life. These early experiences can leave invisible scars, altering the way our brains respond to stress and increasing our susceptibility to emotional distress. Imagine a child growing up in an environment where their basic needs for love, safety, and security are not consistently met. They may learn to suppress their emotions, doubt their worthiness of love and attention, or develop unhealthy coping mechanisms to navigate their challenging circumstances. These early experiences can have a profound impact on brain development, particularly in areas responsible for emotional regulation, stress response, and attachment. Children who experience trauma or adversity may develop a heightened sensitivity to stress, making them more reactive to even minor challenges later in life. Furthermore, childhood trauma can disrupt the development of healthy coping mechanisms, leaving individuals ill-equipped to manage life's inevitable stressors. They may turn to unhealthy coping strategies, such as substance abuse, social withdrawal, or self-harm, as a way of numbing the emotional pain. It's important to note that not everyone who experiences childhood trauma will develop depression, and many individuals demonstrate remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. However, acknowledging the potential impact of early experiences is crucial for understanding the roots of depression and promoting early intervention strategies that foster healing and resilience. The pressure to be perfect, societal expectations, and the imposter syndrome. In a society obsessed with achievement, success, and the pursuit of perfection, It's no wonder that so many individuals find themselves struggling to keep up with the relentless pressure to measure up. From a young age, we're bombarded with messages about what it means to be successful, often defined by external markers such as academic accolades, career advancements, and material possessions. This constant pressure to achieve can take a toll on our mental well-being, fueling feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and the pervasive sense that we're not good enough. This pressure to be perfect can manifest as imposter syndrome, a psychological pattern in which individuals doubt their accomplishments and fear being exposed as a fraud. They may attribute their successes to luck, timing, or external factors rather than their own abilities, constantly worrying that they'll be found out as a fake. This relentless self-doubt can be incredibly debilitating, leading individuals to overwork themselves. In an attempt to prove their worth, they may push themselves beyond their limits, sacrificing their well-being in the pursuit of external validation. Procrastinate. Fear of failure can paralyze individuals, leading them to avoid challenges or delay tasks out of fear that they won't measure up. Minimize their accomplishments. They may downplay their successes, attributing them to external factors rather than their own abilities. This constant pressure to achieve and the fear of not measuring up can take a significant toll on mental health, contributing to feelings of anxiety, stress, and depression. It's essential to challenge these unrealistic societal expectations and cultivate a more compassionate and self-accepting inner dialogue. Remember, true success is not measured by external validation, but by our own internal compass. It's about living a life that aligns with our values, pursuing our passions, and embracing our authentic selves, imperfections and all. In today's hyper-connected world, social media's influence is inescapable. While these platforms offer connectivity and information sharing, they also challenge our mental well-being, especially self-esteem and body image. The curated highlight reels on our feeds create a distorted reality, leading to unfavorable self-comparisons and feelings of inadequacy. Imagine scrolling through your feed bombarded with images of friends on exotic vacations, colleagues celebrating milestones, and perfect relationships. These glimpses can inspire but also fuel dangerous social comparisons, especially when we're vulnerable. Constant exposure to curated realities can make us believe everyone else is happier and more successful. We may focus on what we lack, fueling envy and dissatisfaction. Social media can exacerbate insecurities, particularly about body image. Heavily edited images create unrealistic beauty standards, making it hard to feel confident. This is especially damaging for young people still developing their sense of self. Remember, social media is not reality. It's a curated highlight reel. By being mindful of our consumption, setting boundaries, and focusing on real-life connections, we can mitigate its negative impact. Prioritize real-life connections and self-acceptance to combat social media's effects. Life is a tapestry of joy, sorrow, challenge, and triumph. While we celebrate highs and navigate lows, life's demands can overwhelm us, leading to burnout. Chronic stress from work, relationships, or finances can significantly impact our health, increasing vulnerability to depression and anxiety. Imagine a glass of water filled drop by drop. Initially manageable, the water level rises until it overflows. This is akin to burnout, a state of exhaustion from prolonged stress. Burnout feels like depletion, running on empty and lacking resources to cope. It manifests as exhaustion, cynicism, detachment, and reduced productivity. Chronic stress keeps our bodies and minds in overdrive. This prolonged stress depletes energy, weakens the immune system, and increases vulnerability to health concerns. Recognizing burnout is crucial for recovery. Seek professional help, establish boundaries, and prioritize self-care. Remember, it's okay to ask for support. Taking steps to manage stress can prevent burnout. Prioritize your well-being to navigate life's challenges effectively. Healing from depression begins with acknowledging the struggle. Shed self-judgment and embrace that depression is a medical condition, not a personal failure. This initial step can be challenging due to feelings of shame and self-doubt. Fear of judgment and societal stigmas can make it hard to reach out. However, acknowledging our struggles opens the door to healing. Shedding secrecy and shame creates space for self-compassion and support. Talk to someone you trust for relief and connection. Journal your thoughts to process emotions and gain clarity. Educate yourself about depression to reduce feelings of shame. Practice self-compassion, treating yourself with kindness. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength. Taking the first step is crucial for recovery. Embrace the journey towards healing with courage and self-compassion. In depression, even simple tasks can feel insurmountable. The emotional burden can paralyze us, making daily activities challenging. Micro steps become essential in these moments. Breaking tasks into smaller chunks creates a sense of accomplishment and builds momentum. Imagine climbing a mountain in small steps rather than a single leap. This approach makes the task manageable. Focus on the smallest possible step to overcome inertia. For example, load the dishwasher instead of cleaning the entire house. Write one sentence instead of a chapter. Walk around the block instead of running. Make the initial step effortless to create a sense of accomplishment. Celebrate your progress no matter how small. Each step is a victory over depression. Incorporate micro steps into your routine for gradual improvement. Remember, small steps lead to significant progress. Embrace the power of micro steps to reclaim your life. Celebrate each step as a testament to your resilience. Self-compassion is essential in healing from depression. Treat yourself with kindness, understanding, and patience. Silence the inner critic and embrace imperfections. Establish a routine that prioritizes well-being. Even small, consistent actions can make a difference. Prioritize sleep with a relaxing bedtime routine. Nourish your body with nutrient-rich foods and stay hydrated. Engage in regular physical activity, even if it's just a short walk. Make time for relaxation and activities that bring joy. Connect with loved ones for support and belonging. Establish boundaries to protect your well-being. Remember, self-compassion is a necessity, not a luxury. Create a routine that supports your healing journey. Prioritize self-care to navigate depression effectively. Embrace self-compassion to foster resilience and recovery. Your well-being deserves attention and care. Social media's influence is pervasive, often portraying unrealistic perfection. While it offers connectivity, it can fuel social comparison and erode self-esteem. Reclaiming power requires setting healthy boundaries. Recognize that social media is a curated highlight reel, not reality. Be mindful of your consumption and how it makes you feel. Unfollow or mute accounts that trigger negative feelings. Limit your time on social media with daily or weekly limits. Curate your feed with accounts that inspire and uplift you. Focus on real-life connections and activities that bring joy. Practice gratitude to shift focus from lack to appreciation. Keep a gratitude journal or reflect on good things daily. Remember, you have the power to choose your engagement. Set boundaries to protect your mental well-being. Embrace a balanced perspective to combat social comparison. Finding your tribe, the healing power of connection and support. In depression, isolation can feel constant. Reaching out can be challenging but crucial. Finding a supportive community can transform the healing process. Connection and support come in many forms. Therapy provides a safe space to explore thoughts and feelings. Support groups offer belonging and shared understanding. Peer support provides validation and hope. Family and friends offer love and connection. Remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. Reaching out for support is a sign of strength. Embrace connection to foster healing and recovery. Celebrating small victories. Honoring the journey of recovery. Recovery from depression is not linear. It's a journey with peaks, valleys, progress, and setbacks. Celebrate small victories to honor your effort and courage. Focus on how far you've come, not how far you have to go. Acknowledge your efforts, no matter how small. Track your progress to stay motivated. Reward yourself for milestones. Share your successes with a therapist or loved ones. Remember, recovery is a continuous process. Celebrate small victories to nourish hope. Each step forward is a testament to your resilience. Embrace the journey with patience and self-compassion. Your progress deserves recognition and celebration. Honor your journey to foster a brighter future. Recovery is about learning, growing, and becoming your best self. Celebrate each step as a victory over depression. Embracing the journey. Hope in the midst of struggle. In depression, hope can feel distant. Hope is an active choice, not a passive wish. Embrace the possibility of a brighter future. Acknowledge struggles with compassion while holding on to hope. The healing journey is winding with ups and downs. Extend grace to yourself during setbacks. Hope is a companion, not a destination. It whispers, "You are not alone," and guides you forward. Embrace hope to navigate the journey of healing. You are not alone. Finding strength in shared humanity. One of the most insidious aspects of depression is its ability to foster feelings of isolation, making us believe that we're alone in our struggles, that no one else could possibly understand the depths of our pain. However, the truth is that mental health challenges are far more common than we often realize. Millions of people around the world are navigating similar journeys, each with their own unique story of resilience, hope, and recovery. Recognizing that we're not alone in our struggles can be incredibly empowering. It helps to break down the walls of isolation, reduce feelings of shame, and foster a sense of belonging and connection. When we share our stories, we create space for empathy, understanding, and the realization that we're all in this together. There are countless ways to connect with others who understand what it's like to live with depression. Support groups. Joining a support group can provide a safe, confidential space to share your experiences, learn from others, and gain a sense of community. Online forums and communities. Online platforms offer a convenient and often anonymous way to connect with others who share similar experiences. Peer support programs. Peer support programs connect individuals with trained peers who have lived experience with mental health challenges and can offer empathy, support, and guidance. Mental health advocacy organizations. Numerous organizations dedicated to mental health awareness and advocacy offer resources, support, and opportunities to connect with others. Remember, reaching out for connection is not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to your strength and your commitment to healing. A brighter horizon, rediscovering joy, and embracing the future. As you navigate the journey of healing from depression, it's essential to remember that there is hope for a brighter future. While the road ahead may not always be easy, and there may be times when the darkness feels all-encompassing, it's important to hold on to the belief that joy, purpose, and fulfillment are within your reach. Recovery from depression is not about returning to who you were before. It's about embracing the opportunity to grow, evolve, and create a life that aligns with your values, passions, and aspirations. It's about rediscovering the activities that bring you joy, nurturing meaningful relationships, and finding purpose in the everyday moments. As you continue on your healing journey, remember to be patient with yourself. Healing takes time, and there will be setbacks along the way. Celebrate your progress. Acknowledge and celebrate every step you take, no matter how small it may seem. Embrace self-care. Make time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Cultivate gratitude. Focus on the good things in your life, no matter how small they may seem. Never give up hope. Believe in your ability to heal, grow, and create a brighter future for yourself. Remember, you are stronger than you realize, more resilient than you know, and capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. The journey of healing may not be easy, but it is possible, and the rewards are immeasurable. Embrace the journey, honor your strength, and never stop believing in the power of hope.